Thanks, guys. Well, good evening, everyone. I'm Congressman Kevin Yoder, and I grew up on a farm in rural Kansas. All right? I represent Kansas City in the heartland. I believe very strongly this is the greatest nation in the world, and I'm trying to do everything I can in Washington, D.C. to restore the prosperity and opportunity for every American. I ran for Congress because I believe that our nation was built on bedrock values: faith, family, freedom, and liberty for everyone. And those values are enshrined in our most important document, our United States Constitution. And I want to talk to you today a little bit about the United States Constitution and how the Fourth Amendment has to continue to apply in the digital age and what we have to do to defend it today. And I want to talk to you about the most co-sponsored bill, the most sponsored bill in the entire United States House. But first, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for your grassroots work. I want to thank you for your advocacy. I want to thank you for being the support that helps elect the big majorities in Congress. You know, I came in 2010. We were the majority that swept out the Democrats, and our first vote, the first vote I ever took in Congress, was a vote to fire Nancy Pelosi from Speaker of the House. So we started off to a pretty good start there. We've moved the House, I think, from 179 Republicans to 178 Republicans to 246 today. The Senate's moved from 41 to 54. We have 910 state new Republican legislators since Barack Obama became president. And those are record amounts. We have now more Republicans in the State House than mainstream media wouldn't tell you this, but 40 and under members of Congress, we have double the amount of Republicans that there are Democrats that are 40 and under. Think about that. Now, I used to say under 40, but I just turned 40, so now it's 40 and under. I want to keep, next year it's going to be 41 and under, right? And so those young people were leading the way. And we've got a young leadership team, of course, with Paul Ryan, our speaker, and we've got, this is contrast with the Democratic side that is older. You look at their leadership team, their entire top three were all born before Pearl Harbor. And so we've got certainly a big difference in terms of where the energy and the youth and the opportunities are coming in this country, and they're coming from the Republican side. I want to talk about 21st century issues, though, and how it affects the Fourth Amendment. You know, I'm a young father. I have a 2-year-old girl, and I have a 4-month-old girl. So we've got our hands full at home. People ask me what it's like serving in Congress, or what it's like being a young father, and I say it's basically diapers and tears, and that's just D.C. It's also the same at home. So it's really no matter where we go. My youngest daughter was actually born when the Royals won the World Series. So Kansas City Royals fans out there, she was born the same day. She does not know a world in which the Kansas City Royals aren't World Series champions. So there's that. You may be surprised to know that there's a 1986 law written 30 years ago that essentially says that our emails, our text messages, our digital information that's left on a server after 180 days, after 6 months, is considered abandoned and searchable and seizable by the government without probable cause, without a warrant, without any Fourth Amendment rights. It's been on the books for 30 years. Most of us didn't have email accounts in 1986. The world's a different place than it was then in terms of how we communicate with one another. So I've introduced a bill called the Email Privacy Act. It's the most sponsored bill in the entire United States House at 311 co-sponsors. And what it plainly says is the Fourth Amendment applies to our digital information just like our paper information. That you have to have a warrant to read people's emails or to read their text messages. And the idea that the government, after 180 days, can read any of our emails is simply unconstitutional. And so, thank you. Now, I'll tell you, we have some members of the House and Senate. I definitely know we have some senators who've never even sent an email in their entire life. And so this is why it's important that we have young voices at CPAC, young voices in Congress, helping our elected officials understand that the Fourth Amendment has to apply to the digital age, and that the information we email and that we text messages and we put in Dropbox from the cloud, that has to be protected by the Fourth Amendment. And so we're ensuring that the warrant provisions, all those, the probable cause, the reasonable suspicion, all those things that are important to protecting our Fourth Amendment rights, that's being upheld. So my goal is to get this bill passed and to ensure that we send a message to this president, to this administration, to the IRS, that they can't intrude and snoop in our emails, that they can't trample our Fourth Amendment rights, that they will be protected, that there's a new generation of conservative voices in Washington, D.C. standing up, protecting the Constitution, and ensuring that this country continues to have the foundation, the bedrock of law that continues to make us the greatest country in the world. Thank you all so much. God bless you.